Valentina Gomez says she's running for Congress. This is the person who kind of, her first splash in the headlines was when she was running for office and she burned a Quran with a flamethrower. So she says, I will ban halal food, burqas, and the construction of Muslim cities when I get to Congress. Texas will become the worst place for Islam and illegals to live in. They're not here to assimilate. They're here to rape us into submission.
Has she ever met a Muslim?
Obviously not. But
ban halal food is that's like saying I'm gonna ban kosher pickles because fuck the Jews.
So here's the thing: halal and kosher meat, I can see a valid argument for banning them because part of the process that makes them halal and kosher is that like they have to. I'm not going to describe it.
It's how the bloodletting is done.
The way it is slaughtered is a way that is needlessly painful to the animal. So I can see an argument being made to ban that specifically, not all of halal and kosher stuff in general, but like specifically the meat. I could see an argument being made for that.
But you have to have.
I very much doubt that this is the perspective that she is coming at this from. This is just Islamophobia, plain and simple. But also, like, the reason I chose this one is it's so indicative of like she's running. Surprise, surprise! She's running as a Republican. This is the party that claims to love freedom.
And freedom of religion is one of those things.
Freedom of religion is one of those things. Freedom to, like, wear a burqa. If I choose to wear, like, it's clothing. She's going to ban an article of clothing? I can't wear the clothes that I want to wear if I elect you?
Also, sidebar, 15 Watcher says never wants to die, dehumanize anybody, in response to somebody in the chat. 15th Watcher, I'm actually going to ask you a question, and I mean this with all sincerity. If I boiled you down to only a single trait or a single action that you had committed, and that was the only thing I would ever call you, would that not be considered a form of dehumanization? Likewise, when you call somebody an illegal, not an illegal immigrant, but an illegal, the only descriptor you have given them is a descriptor of their crime. That is what you are calling them. They are their crime. That is textbook dehumanization. That is what that is.
Fennec points out France did ban burqas, and I think that is insanity. I agree. Now, I think there are some situations where the full face covering or whatever, like, there are some security situations where, like, being able to get through a checkpoint or something without showing your face to prove that it's you could be problematic. 99.9% of social interactions does not matter. Just wear whatever the fuck you want.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that being said, Islam is a very misogynistic religion where even people in countries with more freedom like that are not necessarily given the freedom by their community to wear what they want. They'll be forced into wearing burqas or whatever. But that is not for the government to decide. Like, I would advocate for these people to be allowed to not wear burqas and niqabs and hijabs if they do not want to. And I recognize that even in countries where they technically do have that right, it is often pressured onto them by their community. And I recognize that's a bad thing, but that doesn't mean you should make those items of clothing illegal.
Also, their response was, would you calling somebody a murderer dehumanization? So, when you call somebody a murderer, you are accusing them of taking a human life. I believe that a person who has willingly taken human life, with there not being some other circumstance that forced it, there is an argument for dehumanizing that person. But do I consider that to be dehumanizing? Technically, yes. I would consider that to be dehumanizing for the exact same reason, because you are boiling a person down, their entire identity down to their crime. Even if that's not your intent when it comes to speech is almost 100% irrelevant, because once a word leaves your mouth, once you have spoken, it is how other people interpret your words that matters.
So I would say take this back to our conversation surrounding David Wood and listen to how we talked about that, because we went out of our way to say that, like, people with the same disorder, the same disorder as David Wood has, are not necessarily bad people. and we went out of our way to say that, like, even people who have done the things that David Wood has done, it is possible to be redeemed. But we don't think that he has even taken the beginning steps toward that. So, like, you can look at that conversation, how we talked about that, and, like, I'm not going to say that we're perfect at it all the time. If you, like, live streams, we're talking off the top of our heads all the time, so I guarantee you can find stuff that we've said that
you're gonna find an
a little
area
bit
where we're going to be
problematic.
made hypocrites on it pretty easily.
Yeah. I'm not going to claim to ever have been perfect, and if you bring something like that to my attention, I will happily be like, okay, yeah, I'm sorry about that, and I will make an effort to correct it. But I feel like we did a pretty good job with the David Wood thing of being like, he is still a person, and he has the potential for redemption, but this ain't it.
Yep. Also, I do have a article that points out that numerous researchers have found that using negative metaphors to describe immigrants shapes the public opinion and robs immigrants of their individuality, which could make them seem less deserving of assistance and public sympathy. It's actually a technique that the White House has been using explicitly. If you remember during
You said the White House. My thoughts immediately went to fascist regimes of the past. Because that's kind of textbook fascism.
It is. But I will say, there is an article here from Vera that does have links to some of those studies that have been done. But the article itself does go into the details of how dehumanizing speech has the knockover effect of dehumanizing a person. Again, your intent in your heart of hearts ceases mattering once other people start interpreting your words.
Yeah.
Hi, Rhino. How you doing?
Hi.
I'm the one derailing everything.
After you spent so much time asking me not to.
Correct. I did. 100%. That's okay.
All
my fault.
This is the last tweet anyway, so.
Okay. Thank you for the
And
hydrate
really,
stuff.
it's been your chat derailing things tonight. It's not been you. You've just been responding to your chat.
I've been doing my job as a swimmer.
Yeah, but anyway, we raised $500 for charity tonight. That's pretty awesome.
That's fucking cool.
Tomorrow night we've got, you sent me a message while we were streaming and I haven't read it yet. So assuming the message isn't, hey, I can't do it anymore. We've got John Gleason of Godless Engineer tomorrow night. I think that's at 7 p.m. Eastern is the thing that we said. And then I am working on, I don't have a time yet, and I'm not guaranteeing that this is going to happen, but I am working on getting Pillar of Garbage to join us for a stream. Mm-hmm. If you're not familiar with Pillar of Garbage, they're a pretty good video essayist who seems to have been, they seem to have inadvertently ended up being the, this is why AI is actually pretty bad type of video essay. But yeah, they are good people. And yeah, they've got some good stuff. So that's what I'm working on. Yeah, no, John was just asking what time tomorrow was the message. So
7 p.m., correct?
7 p.m. Eastern is what I said.
I'll be able to do it after the gym.
Yeah, so look forward to that. That was the last tweet. So as always, fuck off.
Oh, I thought you said there was one more tweet.
No, that was the last tweet.
Oh. Well, fair enough.
Is it dehumanizing to play this silly video of Dean Cain not being able to do the obstacle course every week with silly tube music?
It is in retaliation to him engaging in dehumanizing behavior. Is it wrong to pick up a gun and fire it at somebody? It depends. Are they aiming a gun at you?
So I must say, I get that tuba line stuck in my head quite frequently throughout the week.
It's your own fault.
It is my own fault, but I always forget about it until I start the stream. Anyway, are you streaming after this?
Yeah, I've got another topic to do, and
I'm gonna raid you then.
Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna hop out here so there's not doubles.
Bye.
Whee! Okay. Now I just have to survive running away. Zoom Workplace, stop asking me to sign in or sign up. Senchini says people like ICE members should be treated according to their worldview. Ideally. Vice Rhino, whoever the fuck you are, thank you so much for the raid. Hey, you made it to the end. I want to give an extra thanks to the patrons who allow me to do this full time. I want to thank Aaron Rail, Astral, Britzkrieg, Jemshin, Poundini, Red Joker, Victoria, Jonas, Craig, Tarika, Fireshard, Smiling GM, John, Dren Hadamada, Creeper, Sagitt, you know I'm not saying that last part, Valis of Sereth, Ottoman Angel, Rooster Rachel, and Fire Panda, who are all my $20 and up patrons.